So it is June 15th. I'm in Akron, Ohio, and I'm about to get something that I never thought I would see again. 1985 Pontiac 6000. Very, very close to the car that I learned how to drive in and took my driver's test on. And I thought there's no more of these that exist, and if they are, they're going to need a lot of work. That is not the case. I really lucked out, and it's about a 2-hour drive from my house in Pittsburgh. So my brother and my son and I are coming to take delivery of that. My brother will drive my 4Runner home, and I'm going to drive the 6000. So I'll show you in a minute. And here we are. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at it for the very first time. It's light and dark chestnut. It's a LE factory wire wheels. Oh my gosh. All right, so here I am, about 12 miles into the ownership experience of my 1985 Pontiac 6000 LE. I'm about 2 hours from home. I'm on an interstate with a car I just bought that's 38 years old. And yeah, knock on wood, she's doing all right. Air conditioning is probably gonna need a charge and go through, but everything else seems pretty decent. Don't want to jinx it, but she's doing 65 on the Interstate 76 heading towards Youngstown, and she's doing all right. I mean, she's it's a clean car, it's an honest car, and my brother's behind me, probably wondering again the sanity of what I'm doing, but the grin on my face is I never thought I'd get my hands on a car this close to the car I grew up and learned how to drive on, and took my driver's test, and it's a little more loaded, but she's pretty put together, no rust, original paint, original interior. This car is going to become a showstopper. I'm thinking about doing having the paint professionally corrected, and go through it then mechanically to make sure it's ready, and start driving it. Nothing better, no better way to kind of figure out if you're got a car that's going to do that than by getting in it immediately first time out and driving it 200 and some miles across state lines. But I think we had a good omen. The seller is a real big fan of 6000s. We went to his bank to do the notary work, and the lady who was there asked what kind of car I was buying, and she had, for her first car, yep, Pontiac 6000. It's good omen, hopefully. So we're heading back, and I will hopefully in 2 hours be in my driveway in Pittsburgh. Thanks for watching. Okay, we are 55 miles away from home in Pennsylvania. We've gone about 70 miles so far. Knock wood, she's handling pretty well. It has been, just sitting here thinking, because I didn't want to run the stereo in it. I wanted to hear how everything's going, nice and quiet. Gauges are about where they need to be. Just put some gas in it to make sure it was a full tank, so until I know I can absolutely trust the gas gauge on it. But it has been spring of 1987 since I have seen down the hood of a light chestnut metallic 1985 Pontiac 6000 with the beige interior. Didn't have the gauge package, I'll tell you that. When I tell people I'm a car nerd, this is what I nerd out about. This is, I have a new Corvette.
Welcome to Pennsylvania.
Just got welcomed back into my state. But I just want to tell you, I have not been this ecstatic about something in a long time. And, I know everyone around could make a case I need. This is the car I learned to drive on. This is the car I took my driver's test in, except a lot more loaded, and 38 years later, wow, a lot nicer condition than you would ever think. It needs a little bit of stuff here and there, but nowhere near what I would expect in a car this age. So I will be back in Pittsburgh shortly, and I will do a walk around, a little more detailed. But she's doing about 65. I've had her up to about 70. I don't really want to go crazy with it. I love the gauge, and for some of my younger viewers, if you look at that, people my age, I'm 53, you know why it goes from at 55. That was the national speed limit. It's 70 now. We could only dream of that in 1985. But that was 55 was as fast as you went legally on any highway in America. And now, if you're doing 55 on this here Pennsylvania Turnpike, yeah, good luck. So, if you can't tell from my voice, I am extremely overwhelmed with happiness right now, and I'll be back when we're back there in good old Steel City. Home. We've been home for about an hour. Got home in one piece, and no hiccups on here. For those of you who don't know who this boy is, this is Wesley, my son, the guy who's telling me that I'm not allowed to get rid of this Pontiac, but we're gonna have to find a place to put this Pontiac, right, Wes?
Yeah, garage.
Yeah.
Build a garage, a second garage.
Yes, because we have a few too many cars around here. The neighbors have been pretty nice, but I don't think they're gonna be too much nicer or longer. But, just kidding, neighbors, love you. This is a walk around that I was telling you. So this is a 1985 Pontiac 6000 LE. 1985, they changed the front fascia on here. You got the STE rub strips that would eventually make their way around the entire car by 1989, I believe. On the LE, they extended, probably the 6000 as well, I'm not sure, but they extended right there. On an STE, they go all the way over, which you can see right here. So if you're trying to find parts for a Pontiac 6000, I can tell you, good luck. This is an original paint car. This is a Canadian built car. Gabriel, gentleman I bought it from, wonderfully nice guy. Had a great time talking with him today and the other day. This car was built in Canada, sold new at a dealership in Wisconsin to a person who's elderly now. This car was owned for like 15, 16 years, sold to someone in Iowa. It may have been one or two owners in Iowa that lovingly took care of this car, and it ended up in Akron, Ohio, in the owner's hands who sold it to me today. Now this is light chestnut metallic. I had mentioned this earlier in the first part of the video. This is dark chestnut metallic. I have a 1985 Buick LeSabre purchased new by my parents in light chestnut metallic. The paint I found out on the Canadian cars was lacquer, and I'm not sure what it was in the other ones, but I know it was not a clear coat. This is definitely a lacquer, and which all the more reason why I think I'm going to get someone who really knows their stuff with paint to go through and see if they can bring a little shine out of this. It has the factory wire wheels. I got an extra one in on this. This was undercoated from the dealership, and it has the factory mud flaps. You can see the two-toning goes under the hood. It's all light chestnut. In the trunk it's light chestnut, but it gets a big dose of dark chestnut here through here, You have your LE trim right there. You have chrome with black accent trim. You have the LE rub strips. I believe all the 6000s had this, but I think the LEs had this chrome, and this was something I think the 82s, 83s, and 84s had. And like any bit of trim on these cars, it's unobtainium now in full sets. Has the chrome surround on here. Has the locking gas cap. The gas cap works. The other accessory key works on there. And you have your rub strips here as well. You don't have that full wraparound that your STE would have, but it coincides with the STE style bumper of 83, 84 and 85. And you had the new taillights for 84, and there's a blackout trim here. Some of it's starting to fade on there, but it's an honest car. I don't know how much I want to start changing other than maybe cleaning up the paint a bit to make it shine a little more. It has an aftermarket stereo, but nothing was cut. It was the proper bracket. There is the factory stereo. I believe what I'm going to do is there's a gentleman in California who rebuilds these. Even if it works fine, I want to have it rebuilt, make sure the cassette works. And I also want to have Bluetooth added on as an accessory line, a plug-in. It's not Bluetooth, so it's going to be, you know, an auxiliary jack, but then you'll be able to run your iPhone, what have you. It has your full there's a spare wire wheel. The original owner had a little ding in one and they wanted it replaced, so they bought a new one, and that one came with the car. 2 extra tires. It looks like tiger paws, probably very old, but very cool. So you can see the two-toning here. And you see under here, now you see the gloss on this. This is what we need to bring out in the paint on the exterior. So I know a guy, and it ain't me. But as you go through here, all the trim is here. The only thing I see right now, other than like bringing up, there's maybe a little ding here, a little chip here. There is some surface rust. So where the mud flap did not protect, this is not perforated through. This is surface rust. It's going to get addressed. It's going to get color matched. Probably put a little bit of that, chip resistant coating on there. I'll address that. Everything else we're going to clean up, and how it cleans up is how it cleans up. This was Quaker State Metal Guard. I've never heard of Quaker State being in the rust proofing business, but every door is solid. Every door is tight. This interior is LE grade, so it's a plusher velour. The other one was more of a Palex in the 6000 series. What's unusual on this is a 1985. This is a late 1985 car. And this has the accessory third brake light on it. The third brake light was not standard on these cars. My dad's 85 did not have it, so you would have a different windshield or rear window on it with the corresponding rear defroster change up on there. So this is a factory option, and they were optional on the 85s. So this one had that. I really like that. But for those of you 85, they were optional on most domestic makes. 86, they became standard according to the government. So all 85s don't have them, but all 86s do. You can see really clean power windows, power locks. As we go, oh, I didn't even notice that. You have an auxiliary light right there along with your rear ashtray. You have your colored keyed seat belts. They were probably standard on an LE. My dad's did not have them. They had black seat belts because that was an $8 option. We go through here, unusual thing here. So we have a reclining passenger seat. We have a power driver's seat. And when you go in here, so again, that's the aftermarket stereo, but it is Bluetooth, so I'm not in a real rush until the other stereo comes back to get it. It does have the remote trunk release, which was optional. This has the center console with your nifty little coin holder. Has a place for your cassette tapes, because why wouldn't you? And this is very unusual. My 86 STE is a 6-cylinder fuel injection, has a 3-speed automatic. This one is a 6-cylinder 2.8 carbureted engine, and it has a 4-speed automatic. I don't understand it, but you could get them lots of different ways back in those days. These are auxiliary gauges. Your standard gauge would have been that and wouldn't have the trip odometer on it. Yeah, I think you had the idiot light center on the left there. You didn't have a tach, and you probably just had your fuel gauge, and everything else were lights on there. This will light up red at night. This steering wheel is so familiar to me because this is the business end of what I took again, I'll repeat it again, this is what I took my driver's test in. And first time ever out on a highway, my dad let me get behind the wheel up in the Poconos and drive it about 70 miles back towards Pittsburgh. And my mother, I think, was saying prayers the whole time because he didn't tell her he was about to do that. But I took my test on it. And when I say the memories in this similar car, I'm just really, really thankful that I saw this and I got this. I'll go through and do what I want to do to kind of clean it up and keep it as nice and honest as it is. I'll pop the hood and show you under the hood. And then one last thing on the interior. The power windows are different on here versus the later years. The later years had more of a integrated console, or like you would see on a car where it was canted towards the driver. This is weird, and plus the seller pointed out to me, it's weird. This is your front window, this is your rear driver's window, and you would think it would be that, and it's so as you see, it explains it on there, but it's kind of counterintuitive. It has the lights on it, all the lights work. Only thing we're missing, rear view mirror, easy to fix. So let me show you under the hood. Okay, so we have the hood up, and Wes, if you want to pan in on the engine here, this is a 2.8 liter carbureted V6. But under the hood here, it's very clean. You have your original matting, and it's remarkably clean on there. All original paint. If you look through here, this is rubberized undercoating. And I'm kind of torn whether I remove that on a detail. I did that on my 85 Buick and cleaned it up so it just looked as clean as here. You look at your trays here, everything is nice and clean. It can polish up a little bit more, but this is a really, really well cared for, authentic car. And Wes, what do you think? I'll turn it around.
I think it's better condition than this one, but this one will be more fun to fix up.
So we're gonna keep it. We'll keep both of them. And I'm putting together parts. I already have a decent amount of parts for this, but not everything I need for this. Right now, I don't have unlimited time, and this is more get in it, get it ready, go to a show, have fun with it. And having fun with Wes and my daughter means the world to me. So we're gonna have two 6,000s. Every house needs to. So thank you for watching, and Wes is going to try his hand at making some videos on things he likes. What do you like, Wes? Is it
VR, sports, that's about it.
Gorilla Tag, huh? Okay. All right, say goodnight, Wes.
Good night, I guess.
Okay. All right, so to me, one of the best parts of this car is the look at it from nighttime. So I'm going to start it up real quick and show you what I mean by that. So this isn't an STE, and you know the STE would have all the digital gauges, but this was what I used to look at on our 85. We had this, we had a fuel gauge. We did not have a tachometer. We had the gas gauge. We didn't have the temperature, the oil pressure, or the volts. We had idiot lights for those. The original radio, as I said, is in the trunk. It will be rebuilt to accept, modern, digital, attachment for your iPhone with a plug-in. Air conditioning, manual, your rear defroster, all in red, and I just cannot believe this is an LE with a console and a V6, the 2.8 liter non-STE engine with that automatic overdrive. My STE right there is only a 3-speed, and it's the 86 fuel injected model. It's just really it's a cool car, and just like the options. I mean, one of the things about these cars where you could order them in many ways, lots of options, no options, anything in between, even some options like power windows without power locks, non-color keyed seat belts, just air conditioning with nothing else, or pretty loaded up without air conditioning, just odd combinations. But this is definitely a pleasant combination. I don't know too many two-tone LEs that would have come like this with a console and everything, but I sure as heck am happy I have it. So this is the last one for the day. I'm gonna put it away and shut her down for the night. Thanks.